This is impressive, my friend. Just when it seemed the Eagles' roster was set, ESPN dropped a bombshell. Injuries in the secondary are mounting, and now the front office may be on the verge of another major trade. We're not talking about any speculation. We're talking about Howie Roseman, one of the NFL's most aggressive general managers, paving the way for a potentially explosive trade. I've received some interesting behind-the-scenes information, and you'll understand why this decision could change the entire course of the season. But first, if you believe the Eagles will fight to the end for another title, like, subscribe, and follow me, because what I'm about to reveal will surprise you. The Philadelphia Eagles made subtle adjustments to their cornerback core earlier this week, but according to multiple sources, these changes were just the beginning of what could become a complete overhaul. ESPN's Jeremy Fowler, a trusted name when it comes to trades, pointed directly to Howie Roseman when asked which NFL general managers are most likely to remain aggressive as the trade market heats up. And if history is any indication, Fowler's words are more than just speculation. They're a warning that Roseman may already be on the phone. The irony couldn't be greater. Just 5 weeks ago, Roseman struck a deal with Houston Texans general manager Nick Caserio, bringing wide receiver John Mechie III and a 2026 sixth-round pick to Philadelphia in exchange for tight end Harrison Bryant and a 2026 fifth-round pick. These days, those same two executives may be being considered again, but this time, the conversation revolves around defensive backs. Fowler's take was blunt. Philadelphia isn't finished with its cornerbacks yet, and the team may already be looking for reinforcements on the market. And honestly, who could disagree? The injuries are piling up quickly. On Wednesday, the Eagles placed cornerback Jacorian Bennett on injured reserve, sidelining him for weeks. Meanwhile, veteran Adoree Jackson appeared on the Week 4 injury report with a groin issue that makes him questionable for Sunday's matchup against Baker Mayfield and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. For a secondary already under pressure, losing two of its key players is nothing short of a crisis. So who steps onto the field? Enter Kelee Ringo, a third-year defensive back who, thus far, has played primarily on special teams. With rookies Quinion Mitchell and Cooper DeJean already shouldering heavy workloads, Ringo suddenly finds himself in a position where every snap will be amplified. But here's the problem. Ringo has started only 4 games in his career, totaling just 112 defensive snaps in the last 20 contests. That's hardly the kind of resume you want when facing Mike Evans and Chris Godwin in a crucial game. If Ringo struggles, Roseman's hand may be forced. The Eagles simply can't afford to let their championship window slip away because of shaky depth at one of football's most critical positions. That's precisely why Fowler's comments carry weight. Roseman has a reputation for acting quickly, addressing weaknesses before they become fatal flaws. So who's on the radar? Fowler remained intentionally vague, noting that the market will come into focus next month as struggling teams stop competing and start selling. But names are already being bandied about. Bailey Bassett of Clutch Points mentioned Atlanta Falcons cornerback Mike Ford Jr. as a potential target. While Ford has primarily contributed on special teams, he could at least offer emergency depth. Still, let's be realistic. Roseman may have his eye on something bigger, an experienced starting cornerback who can stabilize the defense immediately. And that's where the case becomes even more compelling. Think about it. With Bennett sidelined, Jackson injured, and Ringo practically inexperienced, this secondary looks like a house of cards waiting for the slightest gust of wind. The front office knows it. Fowler knows it. And on Sunday, every fan watching the Buccaneers game will know it too. And if the cornerback situation already seemed complicated, the truth is that this was only the beginning of the problem, because right after this wave of doubt has never been higher. The bad news arrived quickly after the Week 3 victory over the Los Angeles Rams. The Eagles officially placed not only Bennett, but also defensive end Nolan Smith on injured reserve. For Smith, it's a painful setback, literally. He aggravated the same triceps injury he suffered during Super Bowl 59, and while the initial timetable suggests he could return after the Week 9 bye, there are no guarantees. Losing a young, explosive pass rusher is never ideal, even on a defensive line as deep as Philadelphia's. The Eagles still have veteran anchors on offense, but the rotation has become leaner, and every rep will matter even more in the coming weeks. Meanwhile, Bennett's situation at cornerback remains deeply concerning. His pectoral injury leaves his return timetable uncertain, and considering he was drafted as the primary backup at one of the team's weakest positions, the ripple effect is enormous. Add to that the groin injury that's limiting Adoree Jackson's performance, and suddenly the Eagles' cornerback depth looks like a house of cards. The timing couldn't be worse, with Tampa Bay's Baker Mayfield poised to test whoever lines up on the outside in Week 4. Philadelphia has already reshuffled the roster in response, promoting depth players and preparing to turn to inexperienced options like Kelee Ringo and Mac McWilliams. But here's the hard truth. The margin for error is rapidly shrinking. This reality is why rumors of another trade are growing louder. An NFL source close to the situation put it bluntly. Howie Roseman will find help, and he'll find it soon. And seriously, would anyone be surprised? Roseman has built a reputation reputation as one of the league's most aggressive negotiators, the kind of general manager who refuses to let an opportunity pass him by. ESPN's Jeremy Fowler echoed this sentiment, once again naming Roseman as one of the executives most likely to make an impact before the trade deadline. And when you add in the fact that Philadelphia is armed with a projected 10 draft picks in 2026, the Eagles have the flexibility and firepower to outbid virtually any offer. So where might that help come from? Cornerback remains the most obvious need, and Fowler suggested keeping an eye on struggling teams that might become sellers. Houston, with an 0-3 record, has already surfaced in conversations over the past month. But another intriguing name has emerged: Cleveland's Greg Newsome. The Browns are still in contention early in the season, but if they fall out of the playoff picture, Newsome could become one of the most coveted names on the trade market. His blend of youth, experience, and playmaking ability would make him a perfect fit for a team like Philadelphia, looking to solidify its secondary for a title run. Of course, it's not just about one position. While cornerback is at the top of the list, the defensive line could also become an area to monitor, depending on how Smith's recovery unfolds. The Eagles pride themselves on rotating players with new players on offense, but even a small reduction in depth could force Roseman to consider signing a veteran. And given his track record, the idea of a surprise move can never be ruled out. Remember, this is the same general manager who has delivered unexpected successes in the past, often when fans least expected it. With so many defensive losses, the secondary becoming increasingly fragile, and trade rumors growing by the day, do you think Howie Roseman should act now to bring in an experienced cornerback, or trust the young talent and wait a few more weeks? Leave your opinion here, and don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. I'll be back later to update you with the latest Eagles news.